This bloody, demonic woman stood in deathly silence as the moon stood above her glaring brown eyes. Her eyes widened. It seemed as if her gaze could stare into the very soul of the wicked or the humble. The petrified child looked on right into her eyes. She could no longer bear her famished hunger, and immediately fell to her pale knees, her shadow wiping over the child's face. The child shrieked in relentless fear, for there was no escape. She whispered into his ear, "Sleep now, child. Sleep." The children all seemed to run away from me, but you didn't. Away ran my friends to become sleepyheads. Please hush now. Sleep now. Dream now. Her dripping black teeth came closer and closer to the boy's face. The boy tried to knock her away when the first solid cut came into his cheek. It did no harm to this reckless victim. Deeper and deeper the teeth went, all the way to the cheekbone. Before the child could begin crying, she started to pull back the skin and the muscle inside the cheek. Tearing through the face, blood running all over her mouth, dripping down her neck, this boy had no defense. The most piercing scream went out of his mouth as she ripped off the first piece of skin, echoing for miles. Her hands gestured towards his face, coming closer to his face every second. Once the first nail had touched his face, all the others went down and dug into the dirty insides of his muscle. She acted as if she had never done this before, but in her cold, blackened heart, she knew she had done this thousands of times. The nails digging deeper and deeper into his skull, the more helpless the boy's eyes rolled back. She finally decided she had gone far enough. With all her force, contracted her arms, ripping all the flesh from the right cheek into the air across her side. A trail of thick blood came directly behind it. She started to whisper again. "Don't leave. I enjoyed your stay. But if you must go, that's okay." Grasping the knife in her pocket with no regrets, she took one deep breath. High in the air, the knife went down swiftly. The knife penetrated the skin and the skull in the forehead, making a large slit in the brain. Her face went down to his forehead once again. Her tongue slowly touched the cut. She began to lick this blood off and chew away into his forehead. She chewed her food without her grinding teeth. She swallowed. She shook her head a little, back into her disguise of sanity. Leaving the corpse on the hard concrete, she turned her head and left, wiping her damp lips with her arm. Each footstep was eerily quiet. She dropped a paper in her back pocket, it is believed. It was handwritten with ink in papyrus, and the paper foretold the legend. Dr. Larinaga, an archaeologist, was digging through old New York grounds, finding no luck. However, his luck changed when he found this paper. The legend is told in a small story and goes as the following from a news report source. There was a woman. Her name was unknown, and her life was anonymous. Her parents abandoned her at birth. She walked the filthy streets, teaching herself everything, but she never learned what real food was. She now is a cannibal. They call her Moliere Mandicer Filii as her full name, because it was Latin for the women to eat the children. She devoured my 3-year-old daughter, Rachel. It may seem silly, but it's true. I apologize for not being a good writer, but I know her story. She's out there. Find this paper, please help yourself. Mark's corpse was found alongside the streets the next day, with a marking on his chest of 090909. It is presumed to be the time he died, in coordination to the note. Here is the peculiar remainder of this report. However, There is a secret that has not been yet divulged into the public. It was seen in many places as Georgia, Florida, New York, West Virginia, Maryland, and even California. The body of Mark Traw was seen hanging from a United States flag in every city of the state, alive. It is claimed that Mark Traw was murdered in the first degree by a cannibal called Moliere. She is a wicked woman. If you see her, call the police immediately. If you're looking for Moliere, you only need to but go to sleep thinking about her. Sleep, child. Everyone is a child in Moliere's eyes. Sleep.